If you remember Playland at the beach or Santa's Village in Scotts Valley, you're not alone. Christopher Rowberry has made his hobby of telling stories of these lost parks into an occupation now by creating a show that brings back memories of several Northern California amusement parks. And his first episode of Lost Parks of California is now available on YouTube. He joins us now on the KGO Live line. Christopher, thanks for joining us. What spurred your interest in amusement parks?
Well, I've always been a huge fan of amusement parks ever since I can pretty much remember, and the day that my dad forced me on my first roller coaster, big roller coaster, I should say. And so I always was fascinated also by the history behind the parks, finding out that there was more to it than just what I had seen. And so when I found out that there was 14 parks that we had lost up here, I said, well, there's got to be some good stories behind there.
How old were these parks? How'd they disappear? I mean, there's a couple of even very close here to the Bay Area.
Yeah, so a lot of people know the story behind Playland at the Beach was lost to development. People in the South Bay will know Frontier Village was lost to condominium development. Those were kind of in like the 40s to the 60s. But Pacific City, which is the one the episode that's up right now, was actually lost in 1922, and it was lost because of foul smells from nearby San Mateo, of all things.
How did that work?
So it turns out that San Mateo was a very small city at the time, didn't have the best in terms of wastewater treatment back in the 1920s, and they built the park right there at Coyote Point, right there on the beach, and, people started moving, and they said, hey, I got to go out there and check out this park, so they moved closer to San Mateo. Unfortunately, their only way that they had wastewater management was a little creek that ran through San Mateo, and that happened to be right next to the park.
Is it just me, or when you think of an amusement park, you think of something maybe a little smaller scale than what we have today and a little more intimate?
Yes, it was a lot more sort of off the cuff in terms of design. There really wasn't a lot of design to it. It was usually mom-and-pop groups that got together and said, hey, let's start building these little patchwork of rides, which eventually became a park. It really started off being an enclosed park once Disneyland came out in the 1950s.
How many lost amusement parks have you discovered in your search?
So right now we've got 14 parks on the docket, one of which we're actually going to be losing this year, which is Shadow Cliffs in Pleasanton, which is a water slide park.
And is there a particular park that stands out above all the rest, and why would that be?
I would say Frontier Village seems to be the one that everyone has that sentimental tug to, just because they remember going to it as kids, and longtime Bay Area residents will remember it just as that fun, family-friendly park that everybody could go to.
Okay, so tell us how we it's on YouTube, right?
That's right. You can also see it through our website, which is greatamericanthrills.net, or through the American Coaster Enthusiast, who is one of my partners on this project, and their website is ACE.norcal.org.
Very good. Christopher, thank you very much. Christopher Rowberry, who has put together Lost Parks of Northern California.